Hello. Okay, wait. There we go. Yep, there we go. Hello and welcome back to the next game of the Fearless League. Today we have Phobia versus Petroleum. We have Phobia here on the killer first, Latex playing the Demogorgon. We will most likely expect a pretty rough match. We can already see survivors have perks like Shoulder the Burden, Dramaturgy, Deliverance. Really strong perks. Generally, why is my VTO model fucked? Why am I so far on the ground? I do not know. Uh, Generally, we see that killers tend to struggle quite a bit in the first set. We have seen killers also do well in the first set, but usually they have quite a few problems because there's just so many good survivor perks, and the teams are tending to not pick S tiers. So generally, the killer struggles. We can already see we're already here in the first chase. We've already seen the undying of the killer here, Bob. We already lost it. Latex here trying to do his best here to get a hit on Kenshi, is most likely going to get it in a bit, but has also shown them where their next totem is. So Kenshi is going to have to call it out, and survivors are going to be on it rather quickly. It's just going to keep chasing. Kenshi is going to make another pallet here. We also have the chase bug still. We love the fact like chase bug is apparently a constant sort of spectator bug right now. That is lovely. Lex here doing the best on the 4 lane here to get the down on Kenshi, but it's not an easy tile for Demo to get. Kenshi is just going to keep running. Most likely going to go down here now though, unless there is a body block. No, there is not. Is going to miss the M2 however, but Kenshi does not make the window vault in time, and this is going to be the first down of the game. Willing to survive. Oh, we see Jar here was there for the flashlight save. Unfortunately, did not get it. That would have been really good for Petroleum. No. Hup. Okay. I think that was a spectator bug because I switched cameras right as he got the hook. That is really interesting. Good to know that that is a bug. We're going to teleport right into the chase against Jar here. We love spectator bugs. We don't get chase music. We see a Taylor teleporting. Spectator is so good. Latex here clearly struggling a bit, like keeping track with Jar. Is going to opt to leave that chase. Is going to go for J here instead. We're going to go chase this TL, which is most likely also going to be rather difficult. Going to leave it once again though, because Jar is coming over to take over the gen. Is going to chase Jar instead. Is going to go for a mind game. Does not get it, unfortunately. Is going to have to play this tile, which is also pretty difficult to play since it's not very smooth. Especially this side of the palette is not smooth, so the shred is very painful to use. Latex does, however, get the shred through the palette. Jar is going to get injured. Is going to have to do his best to make a bit of distance here. We running into Acid and Kenshi on a generator here. We do not see a body block happening, however. This is most likely going to be the second down unless Kenshi takes the hit here. No! Jar is going to have to take this down here. But Jar does not have his deliverance active actually. Whoops. Was about to say we do know Jar has deliverance, but apparently they did not get the unhook on Kenshi. Why? Because they were on chase at that time. So unfortunately that deliverance is not going to happen. Latex is going to look around here, trying to make sure that there is no survivor around stealthing for the unhook. There is in fact not. We do however see J Melly going for the unhook here. Is going to get it. Jar is going to take the body block here, is going to do his best. We do know Jar also has Blood Rush, which he's going to be able to use in case Killer wants to go for them instead. J Melee is going to make it to the shack here, is most likely not going to make anything else, but is going to get down here. Latex here doing very well. The survivors not being able to do much to stop it. I think Jay unhooking that early was a bit of a mistake. Jar still around here to try to take the bait of the pressure off. Try to bait the killer into chasing them instead, so the other survivors can go for the unhook, which does seem to work out. Latex is very willing to chase Jar here. Going to go all the way to the main building where we can hear the main generator already being done to quite a good percentage. Jar going to do his best here to loop for a bit longer. Is going to use that blood rush to get Another sprint burst in. Going to use it to make the pallet, but Latex decides to go upstairs instead. Acid not paying the greatest of attention. Latex landing on a box here is going to go after Acid instead. Is going to make sure that this generator up there does not pop just yet. Is going to loop this. Is most likely not going to get the shred here. Acid doing a very good job baiting out the pallet here. Going to just keep going with the chase. Going to go like Acid here doing very well, winning a lot of mind games, but in the end the pallet is not safe. He is going to go down. We can hear Jar has taken over Acid's gen here, is most likely going to get it. We see another generator popping, and Jar does in fact pop the generator here for Acid. For the last generator of the game. But Latex here still in a decently good position. He has already gotten 4 fresh hooks after all. Definitely a bit good of a result here on the demo. Is going to get the grab on the pallet, is going to allow him to get this hook a bit faster. Is maybe going to be able to go for J here. But is going to have to be careful. Because he does need more downs. He cannot keep this down, even if he would want to. He is going to opt to chase Acid. He's going to go for the safe kill here. He's just going to opt for the 6 stages. But Acid here does have the balanced landing. Is going to use it to make quite a bit of distance once again. Latex here now in a way rougher of a spot. Is going to need this down quite badly, but the survivors are going to come in for body blocks sometime soon. But Acid does in fact not make it. Acid is going to get down once again. Kenshi was here for the body block, however did just not get it in time. He's now in a rather rough position. We can see J Mally is going to try to get some attention here, which might not be the right move, however, because J Mally is still not Death Hook. We're going to go for back to Acid here. Are going to go for the pickup. Isn't Acid? Was Acid not Death? No. I think Acid was. No, Acid was not a hook. Ja is going to go for a sneaky attempt on the hook blind here. Unfortunately, not going to get it. Is going to have to run. We can see Kenshi and J Mally are already healing up in the background. Latex does have to figure out roughly where they are, because if they manage to reset completely, they are going to just go for the double or triple unhook. And there is just no way that they can defend that as a Demogorgon. The gates are not far enough away to do that. But cannot figure out where the survivors are healing. Has spotted one of them now, is going to go for it. Is trying to apply a bit of pressure here so that the survivors cannot go for the triple unhook. Maybe get a hit off before they get to the hook, which would be very, very helpful for them. I would assume Jar is getting healed right about now. Yep. So they are most likely going to come in a bit for the triple unhook, which is going to be incredibly difficult for Latex to defend here. No, I think they're opting to not go for it then. No, they at least two. Yeah, no, they're all here. We can see they're all here for the unhook. They're going to use the reassurance to just buy as much time as possible. So they have a little bit more time to make sure that this triple unhook goes completely flawlessly. Do not want to take any risk. Latex is going to get the shred on Kenshi here. Is going to opt to go after them. Is going to try to get body blocked. But Kenshi has the dead hard. Is going to get it. And this is going to be the 4 out, I believe, for Petroleum. Unless Latex does manage to catch Acid here going for the gate. Which I believe they will, yes. They are going to opt to go for the hatch instead. Latex is going to try to make it to it first. But they might decide to turn around instead and go for the gate. Yes, they do, but Latex does figure it out. Latex did not commit for the hatch too hard, as it is going to die to the end game collapse here for the 7th stage, 4th best for Latex, for Phobia. Lovely. Yeah, that hard just... If that hard wouldn't have happened, that would have most likely been another 2 stages on Kenshi there, but oh well. Well played, Phobia. We will see if Petroleum will be able to match that result after the intermission. love intermissions. There's an ad in progress. Fuck. Also, that ping didn't happen. This one. That sucks. Let's go. Ping Phobia. Phobia, join me. Phobia, Phobia, Phobia. Phobia, join me. I didn't switch scenes. Sorry, chat. Why is it not working? Okay, then hello. And here we are again with the next set match. Now with Petroleum playing the Demogorgon here. We have Jay Melly now on the demo. And we have Ashi Hikari, Abuzi, and Corvo on the survivors. Jay Melly here opting to start a pretty normal cold tower match, is going to instantly break the two downstairs doors on the main building because they just make the loop a lot easier for the killer here. And is now going to opt to look for the survivors, is going to see a Bruzy here behind the hill, is going to see if they can catch him off guard. Unfortunately, is not going to work out. I still wish we would get chase music. There we go. Well, we get chase music from this perspective apparently. That is lovely. Oh, Jay Melly is going to get a good hit here on Abuzi. Abuzi opting to not drop the pallet, is going to get hit for it. Thought they would make it around the corner, but no, does in fact not make it. Is going to take the first hit of the game relatively clearly, and is also going to take the shred on the pallet here. What is that ping on them? For the first down of the game, very quickly, well done by Jay Melly here. Abuzi just did not expect those two last moment hits. Getting caught incredibly off guard there. Jay Melly is definitely in a very comfortable position now. They got it down incredibly quickly, meaning the survivors are going to have to put on quite a bit of gen pressure now to recover generally. Oh. Jay Melly here also finding Hikari, getting a sneaky shred on them, is going to opt to immediately go back towards Abuzi though, to try to tunnel them out. They are the obsession, meaning they most likely have the decisive strike on their team. Yes, they in fact do. We can see Abuzi here does go for the live play, is going to make quite a bit of distance, is going to make this pallet once again. It's going to just this time opt to to throw it. They know it's not worth it this time against Jay Melly to play it. Are just going to give it up and try to make distance. Jay Melly is recognizing that, is going to opt to leave the chase, is going to go after Hikari instead, is going to just take the M1 down, avoiding the flash bang at the firecracker, and is going to get their second hook of the game now. But we do also see Phobia has managed to pop one generator by now. And is going to get, but Jay Melly is going to get another pain rest here. He's going to still be in a very comfortable position. Archie here opting to just immediately throw the pallet, but getting mind game on it, just causing them to get injured immediately. Definitely very bad position there to be in. Jay Melly is going to try to go for the sneaky shred play here, is unfortunately not going to get it because they broke the door earlier. Archie going to try to do their best to loop this, but unfortunately is going to get shredded, is going to get downed. We can see maybe they have, no, they do not have the Unbreakable, but they do in fact have Deliverance, meaning it is quite unfortunate for them to be slugged right about now. It would be way better for Phobia here if they would be hooked. Jay Melly is just going to keep opting to go for the Clawed Head here, is going to use the hill as an advantage to stop the body block, is just going to drop over Corvo and is just going to M1 Hikari for the down. Is going to try to keep going for Corvo here, but unfortunately Corvo does have the balanced landing, is going to use it. He's going to just run away. Hikari is going to be picked up here. They did in fact have that hard, they unfortunately did not use it. Oopsie. Hikari is going to get hooked once again. Phobia definitely in a very rough position here. They're already at 3 hooks now. They're only 5 hooks away from losing this, but they have only done 1 generator so far. And Hikari is going to be... oh, never mind, they have done 2 generators so far. Jay Melly is just going to opt to tunnel here unless we have another spectator bug. Genuinely no clue. We could see another Demogorgon teleport right about now. We're most likely going to see another Demogorgon teleport. Let's take a look at the survivors. Who is going to get jumpscared by them? Oh, no, never mind. Jay Melly was, I think, just AFK there. I don't know if they were going to try to fake an AFK to bait a trade or something, but... no, they're not AFK, they're just choosing to camp like this. Where we're completely still screen. And it's personally interesting to me. I usually, like, when people camp out a hook, they just, like, look around, make sure nobody is coming. J Mally just opting to act as a stone, just going to stay as still as possible. We can see Corvo here once again. J Mally is going to go for the Sky Demo play, is unfortunately going to bump, meaning they do not get the hit on Corvo, but are going to go back to the hook immediately, are going to not go for Hikari, are going to opt to go for Ochi here instead, are going to... Ochi here messing up the check slot a little bit, is going to get hit on the pallet here, is going to be in a bit of a rough position here, might not make anything here, I think. Yamani is going to keep chasing them, is going to try to go for the shred here, but Ochi doesn't make it, is going to just loop this God Rock now. But I believe they did not loop it tightly enough, are going to get downed. We can see another generator popping, however. Phobia is definitely in a decently good spot now. Petroleum still needs to get 4 more hook stages, but they only need to do 2 more gens. It is definitely a very possible win con for Phobia here. Ochi is going to use their deliverance here, while Corvo uses the balanced landing, meaning J Mally just lost quite a bit of pressure. Did not manage to get the hit here, are not going to get the hook here, but are going to go for a sneaky shred on Corvo here. Corvo messing it up, is going to get hit by it and dropping the pallet, unfortunately. J Mally going to do their best here to get it down, is going to get it, is just going to M1 Corvo onto the ground for another down. J Mally definitely just lost a lot of pressure to do the balanced landing and the deliverance play, but just recovered quite a bit of it. Especially because they now get another pain rest, are now at 4 fresh, meaning they only need 2 more hooks to get a Tycon as well. Corvo here is going to get unhooked decently quickly. J Mally is doing a bit of a weird play there. I don't know exactly what the plan there was. Is going to go back on a bruise. He's going to just keep chasing them, but is also is realizing that this might not be the best idea. Is going to leave them instead. Is going to look for somebody else. Is going to see Hikari here stealthing on the logs. Is going to try to see if they can catch them off guard a little bit. No, does not happen. Is going to go back on the hill gen instead. Probably assuming that Corvo might have gone back on it due to the let's landing, but no, they did in fact not. But is going to find somebody, is going to find Ochi here on the shack. Ochi here going to use a sprint burst to try to make as much distance as possible, is going to try to make sure that the survivor, a teammate of theirs, can finish the shack generator, and is going to make a completely different loop, far away from all the gens that J Mally here wants to defend right about now. Definitely a very difficult position for Phobia here to be in. We are going to see the Bamboozle play here, which is going to lead to the death on Ochi here. Ochi going to go for the locker to waste as much time as possible. Ochi is going to get hooked once again, but we do see the shack generator does pop. We're most likely going to see the generator on 1 pop. Yes, we do see it pop as well, meaning J Mally is in a rough position, but they only need 1 more down for the Tycon. If they just get anybody down right about now, they do meet the Tycon at the very least still. And Corvo is going to go fall for a bit of a... It's going to fall for something here. Don't even know what to call that. Going to fall for the Winter Volt. I guess just did not expect the Winter Volt to happen. Is going to be the 7th hook of the game. And with 4 fresh, this does mean Petroleum has at the very least met Tycon. If they can guarantee, if they can get 1 more stage here, this will be WinCon as well. But it's going to be difficult. There are still 3 healthy survivors. They can just go for the triple save. If they do the triple save right, this should be the Tycon, but triple saves can sometimes be tricky. Like multiple survivors going for the same save. Sometimes works out, sometimes does not. But they do need to go for it. They do not have a choice. If they opt to let Corvo die, they would just lose the set. So they have no choice. They need to go for a triple save right about now. But the hook is in a bit of a difficult position. J Mally is going to try to get a hit on Boruzi here, but it is going to lead to Hikari going for the unhook. But Hikari used Dramaturgy! Hikari used Dramaturgy to get to the hook faster, which insta-downs him due to the 25% chance to get exposed. Which is going to mean that the triple save is going to fail due to a 25% chance it is going to lose Phobia the set. Oh, that is painful. If that stat Dramaturgy usage would not have been the exposed. That would have most likely been the successful triple save and the tie. But unfortunately, very unfortunately, they lost the Lounge. If Phobia will be able to recover from this, we'll see after an intermission. Here we are again now with the next set. We now have Petroleum on Freddy against Kenshi. We have Kenshi here for Petroleum on Freddy, and Phobia once again on the survivors. Will we see another exciting game like last game? We are going to see. We can already see starting a bit strong, finding Kenshi is finding a Boozy pretty quickly here. We're already going to see value from one perk, the crowd control. Kenshi is not, Abuzi is not going to be able to go back for that window, which is unfortunate because it is a pretty good window. Abuzi here doing their best to try to win this 50-50 on the pallet is unfortunately going to win it multiple times, but is going to also just end up losing it in the end. Is going to get hit, but Kenshi here opts to go for a different survivor, is going to go for Corvo instead, is going to... Oh, Corvo here not being aware that the crowd control was in play, tried to vault back on the window, but well, crowd control has blocked the window, so that is just not an option. Kenshi is trying to spread out quite a bit of pressure here. We can see the survivors here have met up on the main building to heal up, are going to block off both main building windows already, however. Hikari is going to be in a rough position here, is going to take another tag. Kenshi has already gotten 3 tags and the Wound has already done a bit of progress here on the generators. Hikari is most likely going to get down here, is going to most likely get hit by the snare here. Yes, is going to make the window however, but does not make anything else. Kenshi anticipates the window drop, is going to go around it and get the down on Hikari for first down of the game. I'm pretty sure I did not reset this track. Yep, I did not. First down of the game, there we go. Going to... we see Kenshi here going for the teleport. Going to find Abuzi once again. Abuzi is going to make this pallet in front of main, however. Is going to once again show that they are winning these 50-50s. Is going to have to drop it eventually though. It is most likely not going to make much more. Is going to go for another fake. Is going to try to make it towards Shack. Is in fact going to make it, are going to make it towards the Shack pallet. And going to just immediately drop it. Abuzi here doing very well in the chase against Kenshi. Kenshi maybe should opt to have to leave that. I don't think. No, never mind. Abuzi does opt to just go for the corner, does not even try to loop the pallet, is just going to take the corner down to waste as much time as possible while their teammates are healing. Kenshi does consider the teleport, but decides against it, is going to go for the hook. We're going now to see an interesting play. For the first time in this tournament, we see somebody go for the Saboteur play, because yes, we do in fact have the perk Saboteur allowed, and is going to get it. Abuzi also does have the flip over, the tenacity flip-flop boil over build to just make it impossible at that point for Kenshi to get the hook. Very well played by Abuzi and Corvo here. But Hikari here is going to land themselves in a difficult position, is going to try to play a dream pallet, is just going to get injured on it and immediately M1 for the 2-tab. Which is going to immediately lose them the pressure that play by Abuzi bought them. Very unfortunate here. It is going to be the basement hook. It is already the second hook for Ikari. Definitely. It was definitely a really good play by Phobia here. Definitely showing like, yeah, there are some perks that are generally not... you never see, some plays you generally never see in comp, but Phobia here making good use of it. But unfortunately, that double tap on Hikari was really bad for them. Phobia here trying to do their best. They should have been in a very safe position, but once like that double tap really just ruined a lot of their pressure. We see another generator popping. We can see Abuzi is healing somebody here since they are asleep. Is going to get woken up, however. We're going to just keep going after chasers here. Ochi is the only healthy one. Kenshi is going to try to go for a few when the pallet pops here to see if they can get Ochi. But the survivors are opting to just leave Hikari to die in the basement here for the first kill of the game at 3 gens. Definitely very, very bad position here for Phobia to be in, despite that amazing summer play. Are going to loop right into the survivors that were healing up. Is going to be in a different position. Ochi is going to get down by the Dream Pallet here for another down. It is just so very unfortunate. The Kenshi getting two. Hikari getting 2-tapped into the basement hook when put Phobia from a very, very advantage position into a very, very rough position. Phobia here definitely not having the best of luck today. First that dramaturgy play, then the double tap there, ruining everything. Abuzi is going to try to once again win those 50-50 mind games, but unfortunately this time does not get it, is going to get hit this time. Kenshi is going to just leave the chase once again, is going to try to apply some gen pressure. They have lost their wound already, so they need to apply some of it themselves. Are going to opt to just break a couple of pallets, are going to just make the rest of the game a bit easier for them. They are in a very, very good position here to get a good win con after all. Are going to just here keep looping Corvo here. Corvo is not going to go upstairs, he's going to just take this window. Is, I believe, going to use finesse? Was it finesse? No. Okay, I thought it looked a bit weird, but no, that was just a scream animation looking a bit similar to finesse to me. We are going to go back on the main building, are going to find a Bruzi and Ochi here hide healing inside a boon. Because yes, we do have a boon as well. We have the exponential and the circle of healing. Phobia here has opted to go for rather classic DDS playstyle, to go for the bully gameplay on the main building with Boil Over. Kenshi here opting to not go for a Abuzi, is going to try to go for the exponential instead, which is going to cost them dearly, however, because the flip-flop Boil Over is just going to make it impossible to get the hook on Abuzi. But this time they are aware of it. They're not going to go for it, they're going to try to split up pressure instead. Are going to go for Corvo instead, are going to get a pallet, the Dream Pallet hit on them for another down. Definitely just a very, very unfortunate game for Phobia here. They had such a good start and lost it all so quickly. We can see Abuzi and Ochi were healing in the main building there. Did realize, however, that they were giving the option for Kenshi to teleport to the main building, so opted to cancel it. Are going to keep looping. They're still stuck together. Abuzi is going to just try to stick close to the corner once again to waste as much time as possible. Kenshi is going to have to go after Ochi here instead. Is not going to be able to do anything. Is going to use the Dream Pallet to prevent Ochi from making any further distance, and is just going to down them. Abuzi is going to try their best to go for the unhook instead, but is going to get found. Going to have to take it down here. Definitely very off position. Most likely going to be the 4K3 here for Phobia. We can, for Petroleum here. We can quickly check. It does not appear that the survivors... Oh, no, the survivors do not have anything to pick themselves up, I believe. Because they're not cursed. For some reason, Abuzi is not cursed. I believe the curse status currently should only be active from crowd control, but maybe they didn't vault any window? No, they didn't vault window. Maybe it's bugged? Yeah, they can in fact pick themselves up with the Soul Guard. I was just confused for a moment because the curse status did not show. So I was confused if they could do it or not. But yes, Abuzi is in fact affected by curse, meaning they can pick themselves up to get the pickup on Ochi, which is going to give Phobia another chance to recover from this game. We're going to see another hook happening here on Corvo. We're already at 6 hook, still 3 generators to go. Just an incredibly rough position for Phobia here to be in. We can see Ochi is going to go for the save. Kenshi is going to opt to go for the gen kick once again. Is maybe going to go for a teleport back to the hook. No, is going to opt to go for a Bruzi instead once again. Survivors are missing healing skill checks? Oh. I do not know. They're going to go for the generator instead. They are going to try their best to see if they can get that one generator done. They probably do not hope for much more, which is totally fair. Kenshi does realize it, however, is going to go back to the hook is going to find both survivors on it. Both survivors do not really have anything here. Oh, Kenshi does, however, get blinded by the firecracker, is going to get quite confused by it, is going to allow Ochi to buy quite a bit of distance, which is definitely a very, very good recovery by Phobia here. Kenshi would have avoided that firecracker. That would have been a very rough position to be in once again, but no, unfortunately not. Kenshi opts to break this wall here. I do not know exactly why. Ochi is still around to make sure to pressure this generator to make sure Kenshi cannot leave it. The survivors may be opting to go work on a different one instead. Yes, are opting to work on Gallows instead. Kenshi is going to take the chase on Ochi, is going to opt otherwise. Is not sure exactly if they are trying to defend the gen right now. Are a bit split up on what exactly they should be defending right about now. Are going to chase Corvo, however, into a bit of a different position. Corvo, however, is yellow. Corvo currently cannot be affected by any dream pellets or dream abilities. But Corvo, unfortunately, does not have anything here. The pellet was already down and broken. Is going to just try to buy as much time by going into the corner and is going to get down, which I believe is going to be their death hook now, unless the survivors can get a summer play or something in. But no, they do not make it. I think Corvo is the one who summoned anyway. Yes, he is. Corvo is going to die here. We have again a killer teleport bug, which I guess that is just part of the game now. If you switch spectator, I guess the killer sometimes bugs out. That's lovely. Ibuzi here is going to get chased into the edge of the map, is going to get downed. Kenshi this time is going to opt to slug them once again, I guess not aware that the pickup happened to Soul Guard. Is going to go look for Ochi instead. You can see where Ochi is at. Ochi is currently stealthing, trying to make sure that they do not get found, so Ibuzi can pick themselves up. But are going to opt to go back to it now. I guess are actually aware, okay, it could be Soul Guard, I cannot slug this. Going to go for the pickup, is going to try to go make a hook. We can see maybe Ibuzi's tenacity is unfortunately not able to do anything. And I'll teleport back up. Damn, I really need to stop changing POVs while the killer is locked in animation, right? Ibuzi here is going to get hooked for the first time after multiple downs. They were down 3 times, but this is their first hook now, because they were just too difficult to hook previous times. Ochi here trying to go stealth for the unhook, unfortunately is yep, is going to get found, but Kenshi does get screwed over by the auto aim, is clearly upset about it, swinging at the window frame, at the door frame, to show that this is bullshit. I agree. Ochi going to try to do their best, but unfortunately are going to get downed on the Dream Shack pallet. This is going to be the 4K3 for Petroleum here. They were in such a good position here, but unfortunately lost all of it due to that big misplay by Hikari. Very unfortunate. I like the saboteur play. That was cool. Yep, this is the 4K3. If Phobia will be able to do a 4K4 here, or even better, we will see after the intermission, because I kinda doubt it. But oh well, we believe in them. here we are again now with Archie for Phobia on the killer, having an incredibly difficult 4k4 win condition. All Petroleum has to do is finish 3 generators and they will have this in the bag. But we can already see that J Melly was AFK at the start of the game, is going to take an incredibly early hit there. Archie is going to try to get that Dream Pallet in. J Melly did not expect the crowd control is going to get down by... Wait, crowd control? Didn't we... Wait, crowd control. Crowd control. We had crowd control already. It was also on the Freddy, right? Yes, okay, good. For some reason I was misremembering right now. For a moment I thought the crowd control was on the demo. No, okay. We just had both Freddys with crowd control. I was so... Sorry. But Archie here did get a good first down. J-Many definitely massively fucked up there. Going to actually put Petroleum into a position where they could actually not get the win con of that 3 gens, which would be very rough. Archie is going to try to go for a mind game against Kenshi, unfortunately not working out, is not going to get the hits through the pallet, is going to have to keep trying. We can see a totem has already popped. Unfortunately the worst totem that could have popped is the Thrill of the Hunt, meaning if they find the other 2 totems they will do them quite a bit quicker now, but at the very least Archie still has Ruin and crowd control right now, putting in quite a bit of pressure. Is going to make it impossible, I believe, here for Wilco to do anything. No, I don't, well, unless he doesn't use the power. Maybe he could have put the power down, but Wilco is going to try to go for a play here with the firecracker. Unfortunately, he's not going to get it. We will see another generator here. Not a generator. Another totem here popping. It is the crowd control. Archie now only having 1 perk right now to work with. Soon 2 once the first generator is popped. At the very least, they still have the Ruin being really the most important part here because they need that gen pressure incredibly badly. Are going to try to see if they can get another sneaky hit in here before going back for Wilco. I do not think they will get it, however, I think Wilco will be picked up soon. Yes, is going to get picked up. Archie going to try their best here to get Jar instead. Is going to get a mind game on Jar here, is going to get the hit. Jar is going to do their best to just make a bit of distance. But Archie opts to leave the chase, is going to go for Kenshi instead. Is going to immediately put them asleep, is going to place more Dream Pallets, is going to get a few pallets out of the game here, which is definitely good a position to be in, but J Melly here trying to catch the attention of Archie here, so the survivors just have a bit more time to work on the generators. Is going to check on the generator, but no, Jar is not on it, is going to have to keep chasing somebody else, is going to go to up, is going to go back, going to try to go on Kenshi once again, is going to find Kenshi, is going to get the tag here, is going to just keep chasing. Kenshi is going to make it to the main building here, which is a bit unfortunate, but I believe Wilco will also here have to take a hit, is going to, but Archie is going to here keep chasing here, is going to find Jar as well, is going to take the tag on Jar, is just wanting to try to get as much pressure in here as possible so that the Ruin can do as much as possible to Guess. Is going to go back on that generator, is going to try to follow Wilco, is going to find Kenshi instead, is going to try to get the snare on them. For some reason they are looping, they do not have anything else they can go for. But I don't think that's going to work out for them much longer. I believe Archie is going to get the down here on Wilco. Yes, is going to get it. Unfortunately, the survivors did also find the Ruin, however, so Archie is going to lose quite a bit of gen pressure now. Still has to get a 4k here at 4 gens or more. Definitely a very good start into the game, would be a very good condition to be in for a normal win con, but a 4k4 win con is just going to be incredibly difficult for them here. Archie is going to use their power to get the aura reading in, even though J-Melly is asleep. Enabling the purple add-on here, enabling the killer to actually have a power even when survivors are asleep, which is definitely going to be very helpful. Archie is going to opt here to leave chase once again. No, never mind. Is going to stick on J-Melly. Is going to keep chasing them on the shack here, but they unfortunately did not break the shack wall yet. Is going to have to go leave it. Is going to go onto Wilco instead. Wilco in a difficult position here. Unfortunately, there's no Dream Pallet placed here, so they're going to have to take the body block on Kenshi here. Is going to just keep looping. Wilco is going to make it to this pallet here. Is going to just drop it immediately. I do not know if they have anything else, however. They might get down here. No, they are going to make this window up here. I believe this is going to be the hit now. Yes, Wilco will not make anything else. He's going to have to take the locker. Should be yeah. We can see the first generator here has popped. We can hear the main building generator is also already decently high, meaning Petroleum is very, very close here to their desired tie condition. Archie currently having to work with only a single perk, the Wretched Fate. Really just oh, never mind, not even that anymore. Is going to have to now play perkless while still at 4 survivors and get a 4k4. That is most likely not going to happen, let's be fair here. Kenshi is going to get downed here after getting rid of the Wretched Fate with beating Oshi where they were at, but Oshi does not have the privilege of actually taking that hook. Is going to have to try to somehow snowball into a good situation here against a good team like Petroleum. Is going to opt to chase Jar instead here. Is not going to go on a tunnel out on Wilco. That is what I would personally do, the tunnel out. Is going to have to do their best here against Jar, but the shack pallets, the shack window, still, shack wall is still not broken. It's still a difficult loop. We can find Jamali here on the gallows generator. Oshi is going to try to go for a mind game here, but unfortunately not going to get it. Jamali does play this very well, but is unfortunately going to have to take the window at some point. He's going to is going to make it to the pallet. I thought I would. Jamali here trying to fake out the pallet drop, but is going to get hit through it. We can see the main generator has popped by now, however. Is going to be the Tycon here for Petroleum, meaning the best Ochi can do here if he 4Ks right now with no more gens popping would be the Tycon. We will see. I doubt he will be able to do it, but if he does, it would be an incredibly strong performance, especially against a good team like Petroleum. He's going to just try to keep taking chases, going to keep trying to get pressure. If he would still have Ruin active, if he would still have Crowd Control active, he would be in a good position. But no, we see the Gallo Gen pops now. This is going to be another set 1 for Petroleum. The fact that Oshi never opted to break the shack wall is going to cost them very, very dearly here, because they have just had so many chases taken to the shack that they just couldn't really follow up on, because the shack is just a really strong loop. Jar is going to try to go for the 50-50 on this pallet here, is unfortunately not going to get it. It is a very short pallet, so Ochi is going to go for the basement hook here. We can see a survivor is sneaking around for the unhook as well already. Maybe like hoping that the killer would teleport out of it, but they do not. Are going to have to not be able to get it right now. We can see, I believe it was Kenshi here on this generator. Ochi is going to have to kick it once again. Is going to try to go back, pressure the gens, pressure the unhooks. No, is going to opt to go for Kenshi instead here. Kenshi was not asleep just yet. Kenshi is going to make the main building. Unfortunately, Kenshi does not get the fast vault on the window here. Is going to have to take the tag. Ochi is going to go back to the basement once again. Job messing up a bit here, is going to get the tag. Is fortunately not going to get down on this Dream Pallet though. Is going to make it to this window as well. Going to make it to this strong window as well now. Ochi is going to do her best to go for a mind game here. Once again, this fact that this wall is not broken is just going to be incredibly bad for them. We can see Jar going for a mind game here, not remembering. Wait, most friendly players are playing the aura add-on. Is going to get hit. Been hooked once again. We had 5 stages. Yeah, cool. Kenji is going to immediately go for the unhook. Oshi here trying to go use their power on the survivor that has asleep. J-Melly here still using a flashlight to click a little bit, I think just trying to get the killer's attention. Ja is going to take it away from them, however, is going to get the adrenaline value. This is most likely going to be at least a 3 out, maybe a 4 out, based on who is the next down. J-Melly is going to be the next down, is going to be immediately picked up, most likely going to be put into the basement. I don't think there's enough survivors are here to prevent this basement hook. We know they're not. Are going to get the basement hook here. Ja is going to follow into the basement immediately. He's going to go, try to go for a sneaky play here. Ochi opting to go for the snare for some reason. Is going to not get the trade due to it, and is going to have to keep chasing here. But is going to get J-Melly, who is there desired down here, because Ja is already on death hook. J-Melly was still on fresh until a moment ago, meaning they are worth more stages. This would be a better result if not for the win goal already being met, but it is still generally for the best to play for your Westbrook. Actually no, J-Melly was not. J-Melly was already first. Whoopsie. So Kenshi was fresher. I think, yeah. That should be 7 stages. 7 stages too fresh? I think so. Oh well, doesn't really matter. We will see each other in the next set, the Nemesis set, after the intermission again. Yay! Here we are again with the next, maybe last set. We now have the Nemesis set on Father's Campbell Chapel. One of my most hated maps in this game. Probably the top 3. Which, I don't know why I allowed this map, honestly. I don't know why I didn't just ban it. I hate seeing this map every single time. I hate the main building on this map. I don't think the map looks pleasing. Asylum in general is a painful way as well. But we see Latex here doing a good job, already getting into their first chase against Jar here. Is going to get a good tentacle hit and is going to keep chasing. We had chase music for a very short moment there, which is incredible considering we did not have killer chase music for most of the game so far. Jar is going to try to avoid the tentacle hit by dropping into the basement here, which unfortunately is just going to waste them a little bit more time, which is going to make it more difficult for them to avoid the next one. Is going to make it to the window, however, is going to fast vault it. Very well done. It's not an easy window to fast vault, I'm pretty sure. Is going to fuck this fast vault though. Is going to have to vault it multiple times. Is going to have to block it. Is most likely going to get down here. Yes, is going to try to go for a sneaky play on this, but unfortunately is going to get down for the first down of the game for Phobia here. And that's going to be a basement lock. This might just turn out like the last Nemesis games we had, because the last Nemesis games we had, we did have a basement hook early on as well, and all that happened was, it was just camped out. But Petroleum here, definitely already showing quite a bit of pressure, are going to pop 2 gens at the same time. I'm also just noticing Latex has Languid Touch, which is a bit of a strange choice considering by set 3 most exhaustion perks should be banned, shouldn't they? I don't think Languid Touch does anything other than exhaustion, does it? Do not know. Not 100% sure right now. I have never used this perk by myself before. I have not gotten the, I believe Ragnar is the killer, the adept on them. Latex is going to try. Kenshi is going to try to like loop around to drop the pallet and get the unhook on Jar, but does not realize that Latex is actually walking around, leading to Kenshi wasting the check pallet and getting hit here, which is going to put Petroleum in a very difficult position here. Because unless another survivor is coming over, they will not be able to get the save, and I'm pretty sure even if they did, Latex can just body block this, so this Jar is going to have to go second stage here. We can, however, see J Mally here trying to go for the generator here, is going to get found by Latex here, is going to get caught in a chase. Latex here being very, very patient with a tentacle, is going to get the hit on J Mally here, is going to bait out a hit over the wall. Unfortunately, well, it worked out. J Mally did hesitate, but unfortunately is just not going to get it. J Mally here going for a bit of an up play, wanted to, I think, fake out the fact that they are going to drop the pallet, but unfortunately are just going to get hit instead because Nemesis did just walk through. The fake out did not work. The unhook on Jar here happening. Latex immediately going back, is going to try to prevent any heal from happening. Is going to go directly after Jar, but we can see Petroleum here popping more and more gens actually. Already only 1 generator left, but still so many stages possibly to go. Definitely a rough position here for Latex, even though he will have his first kill of the game already decently early in. But survivors are also in a rough position now. I believe the last gens they have are going to be a 3 gen. Kenshi here being a bit AFK, but are going to make the vault, are not going to make the window, however, because of the tier 3 tentacle. I think Kenshi was standing still there for a moment. I don't know if they were actually like checking something or if they just were waiting as a check spot. I don't know. Petroleum is acting a bit weird right now, honestly. They're also not wiggling. I don't know why that is. Latex here finding a survivor. The asset here on the check generator is going to opt to chase after them. Is going to get the chase to make sure that asset cannot repeatedly vault this window over and over again. is going to try their best, is going to get the mind game on it, is going to get the tentacle slap on the shack window, and is going to just keep chasing Asset here, definitely in a rough spot. Is going to get slapped once again, is going to lose quite a bit of their speed boost on the box here where Shack Pallet should have been, is going to get downed rather quickly. Definitely a bit of a strange performance here. This is not the performance you usually know from Petroleum. I do not know what is going on with Petroleum here. I don't know if they are just having some issues, but it is definitely putting them in a bit of a difficult position. We can see Kenshi here is just going to drop this pallet to just buy as much time, as distance as possible. Is going to be rather close to the killer though. Latex is just going to make sure to protect this 3-gen here. This is a very tight 3-gen, meaning there is not much Petroleum can do to get it. The zombie is also going to drop by, is maybe going to try to defend that shack generator. If that does happen, it's going to be very, very difficult for Petroleum to recover. Especially because J Melly here does not have the flashlight. He does have a firecracker however, so he could stun the zombie one time. But that would not be enough to finish a generator. J Melly is going to get the unhook on Acid however, but Latex is going to go back immediately, is going to see if they can find Acid to get down them once again. J Melly is going to try to get value from the firecracker here, is not going to get it. Is going to get the M1 on J Melly, is going to, however, since J Melly is unaffected, is going to opt to leave it instead, is going to try to get Kenshi instead, who is going to, I'm pretty sure I just have to take the corner. He's not going to make anything else. Latex going to take the tentacle swing here to try to see if Kenshi would dodge to the side, waste a little bit more time. But no, Kenshi makes as much distance all the way to the corner. And is going to force Latex to not take the pickup, because if the survivors would be stacking the shack generator right now, he would lose that down. He would lose this generator. Fortunately for him, well, I guess unfortunately for Petroleum, or fortunately for Latex, they did not stack that. Meaning they are just going to get found. Well. Yeah, instead of stacking it, J Melly opted to go try to stealth for the unhook instead. Is going to get found on it, however. Is going to get chased. We will see the main building window here being used. Still, definitely a difficult position for Petroleum to be in though. This is most likely going to be the 4K0, because Ace should get downed here in just a short moment. Yes, Acid might still be on the radar. No, Acid did opt to go for the pickup instead. If a perk like Wound would be active right now, that would be so good for Latex here, but unfortunately no, Wound is long banned. Is going to go after Acid here. Acid is going to opt to take the corner, so Kenshi can get the pickup on J Melly. This is just going to be a bit of a slugfest, but definitely a good position for Latex to be in. They're going to waste a lot of time, and if the survivors do a single misplay or run into a zombie or something similar, they will just lose all this pressure, all their chance to win this. J Melly is going to do their best here to go make a pallet. Is going to try to avoid the tentacle stab. Is going to get hit by it around the corner though. Is going to try to make it a bit further so they do not have to play that. Is almost going to get hit by a tentacle, but I think Latex did get robbed a little bit here. Did hit the wall instead again. Is going to have to lose that down, is going to have to go back for Kenshi and Acid here. Definitely unfortunate, that down would have definitely been really good for Latex. Definitely back in a more difficult position now. We can see Kenshi here on the edge of the map, trying to see if they can pressure towards the generators again, to make sure that Latex cannot stay on it, but does not fall. Latex does not fall for it. Is going to go back to the generators. Is going to take the kick here. Is going to maybe go after J Melly here, but or are going to go for the kick. No, they are going to go after J Melly here. Are going to keep chasing them, but it's just incredibly difficult. The survivors are just making sure to make as much distance to the other side of the map every time, to make sure that no hook will happen near the generators. Because that would be incredibly bad for Petroleum here. I think J Melly also must go down there. Latex here opting to go back to the survivors. trying to pressure the 3-gen, is going to find Kenshi here back on the generator. Is going to try their best to make sure that they cannot work on any of them, however. Is going to chase them. Kenshi here is going to go for the shack, which is going to most likely cost them dearly, however, because they will maybe not make that much distance this time. Yes, they will get downed on the shack, which is going to be very, very bad for Petroleum, because now Latex will be able to actually stay on their 3-gen. Oh, Latex here going for a bit of a weird play. Kenshi does, however, fall for it. Is going to get downed. Is not going to take the hook, however, is going to go back, kick the generator once again. Is now going to go back for the hook, I believe. The zombie is lurking around. If the survivors get back on the generator, they're most likely going to get found by the zombie, which would be very, very bad for them. Also noticing the scoreboard is wrong, even though we've been at this score for so long. Oopsie. Latex is going to opt to go for, not go for the basement hook, is going to go for a more open hook that is more easily available to him, so he can protect his 3-gen a bit better. The zombie unfortunately did not spot the survivors going back for the generator, because they did not in fact go back to the generator that quickly. Is going to spot Acid back on the generator here, but does not know where J-Melly is. We can see J-Melly is on the shack generator, is going to do their best to get that one done. But Acid is in a difficult position here, is going to take the tentacle slap, is going to unfortunately not get hit by the zombie. We can see Latex is going to go back for the hook, going to make sure that the shack generator does not pop, is going to opt to tunnel out Kenji, however. Kenji does not have anything, any kind of anti-tunnel, meaning the teammates will have to take a hit here. Unfortunately, it does not happen, is going to get downed. But I think the survivors might be able to finish the shack generator in time. Actually, no, I don't think they will. No, they will not. They do not have any perks to make this generator happen more quickly. So as long as Latex legs it back to the shack generator, he is going to make it. This should be a pretty safe 4K1 for Latex at this point, at worst 4K0. Acid here getting hit on the edge of the map, but Latex really doesn't want to risk this generator popping. Is going to go back on J-Melly, going to make their best, do their best to make sure this generator does not pop, so it is definitely 4K1. J-Melly here is going to try to go for the window vault, is going to get the fast vault, but unfortunately is still going to get hit here. But is in a very rough spot, he does not have anywhere he can really go, is going to be just in a very rough position. Is going to try to vault this this window, is not going to work out for him, he is going to get downed. Latex is going to look for Acid, is going to find him. This is going to be the 4K1. Petroleum does not have any way to pick themselves up, meaning they would have to mess up quite badly. Yes, Acid here does get down. This is going to be the 4K1 for Phobia, meaning Petroleum will have to get at least a 4K1 to tie this, but because Petroleum is already 2-0, if they tie this due to it being a best of 4, Petroleum will still win this as long as they meet the win con, meaning effectively the win con for Petroleum is the 4K1 here. If Petroleum will be able to meet the 4K1 or even the 4K2 or better, we will see after the intermission. That did not work. I hate intermission today. Intermission hates me. And here we are again with maybe the last game for today. We now have Jar on the killer for Petroleum. The screenshot didn't work, okay, I cannot give it to you. It should be right, there's 2 perks missing on everybody. Just use that. We quickly need to check the builds. My referee did not get into the thing in time. It does look like every build is correct, in fact. So we will just continue on with the game. Jar here has already found Ochi in Chase. Just as a reminder, once again, the win con technically would be a 4k2, but a 4k1 will also be enough to win this match due to the fact that we do not replay tires, and it would be impossible for Phobia to win with the set 4 result afterwards, so it will just be an automatic win, and we would not play out the rest of the games unless both teams decide to do so for the fun of it. We are just going to keep chasing, however. Jar is going to get a good hits here on Ochi even after losing one of them. Is going to just keep chasing. Corvo is here to take a body block. We can see Phobia has already popped 1 gen, are definitely already in a decently good position here to get the win con they need. Corvo is going to dodge the tentacle step here. Jar not being as good of a nemesis as the previous one, it appears. Going to... The survivors are going to doing a pretty good job dodging the tentacles here. Jar is going to have to leave. It is having to look for Ochi. Is going to fight Ochi, but unfortunately already reset. Is going to have to chase Hikari instead. Hikari is just going to drop the pallet, unfortunately not getting the stun. Jar is just going to have to break it. This is definitely a very difficult position to be in for Jar here. Is going to miss the tentacle step on the down pallet, going to waste even more time. Hikari here is going to have to take a hit here most likely. No, dodges the tentacle once again. We might actually see Phobia win this set. They do have to do 3 more generators, but are in a very good position to do so. I just noticed I never did the 5 rushes. I keep forgetting to update the scoreboard. I'm getting also like into the commentary, so I forget to change the scoreboard. I really need to change something about that system. Probably not. Maybe for next week I will have that system a bit better. But Jar does finally manage to get their first down on Hikari here, but 2 gens have already popped, and it's been quite a while. Decent while since the last generator, so we're most likely going to be decently close for another gen popping. No, next gen is not even 50%, it appears. Jar is going to try to get Ochi here instead. He's going to get their first Devour Hope stack. The Devour Hope here really being the play that could maybe switch the game around here for Jar. Jar is in a very rough position, has only 1 injury. The injury is most likely going to be healed by the time they find them once again. Are going to have another generator, decently high percentage here by Abruzzi. Is going to have to chase Corvo here. Corvo unfortunately loop chasing the killer into Abruzzi though. Abruzzi is going to fall, not going to use the appropriate check spot, is going to get hit by the M1 here. Even though Nemesis footsteps are quite loud, they should have been able to track that all with the audio. Unfortunately, no, they messed up. Jar is going to go through the generator here, is going to try to get Corvo off of it, but Corvo is going to play it pretty safe. Jar knows that they would waste a lot of time to get Corvo here, is going to have to leave it instead. Going to have to keep looking for somebody. Is going to fight Hikari here. Hikari is going to be the optimal down here, because Hikari is already on a hook. So Hikari would be pretty easy tunnel out if they would need so. Is going to get the M1 on Hikari for the next down. We're most likely going to see the hill generator from earlier pop now. Yes, we do see 2 more generators pop. We are now already at Tycon, meaning... Oh god damn it. We are going to see spectator bug once again. We can see Hikari is not gaining any hook progress because I switched the point of views while in the hook animation. Spectator currently bugs out, so we just have to wait and see until... I hope... Does this fix itself? Because previously we had it on a demo and the demo fixed itself to... Okay, we now have the invisible nemesis gameplay? No, never mind. Picking up did at least reset the model. Okay, thank god. I was worried we would have to watch survivors for the rest of the game and just have to deal with only terror radius and like guessing. Fortunately, the pickup does fix it. We are going to see Jar does find Corvo here on the generator. Corvo is going to make quite a bit of distance. Jar is in a very rough position here. They are going to need that unhook to happen quite desperately. But Phobia can honestly allow to not risk it. They could honestly just stack on a generator. They could just ignore the hook completely right about now. But that will depend if they are aware, if they think it could be the Devourer. If they have the suspicion, the idea that it could be the Devourer, the best play here would be to just completely ignore the soak to make sure that no exposed down could happen. But no, they opt to not do so. We're going to see the unhook happening. We're going to see the Devourer go to 3 and going to get the insta down on Ikari, who is going to be Death Hook and going to be the first kill of the game here. We see the survivors here are, however, now stacking on the last generator. I am pretty sure Jar will not make it back in time, and even if they do, the survivors can pop it in their face. Phobia is going to take this set, I believe. Oopsie. Yes, they will pop this generator. They do not care about the nemesis. They will get it. This is going to be the 5 generators done by Phobia, meaning they win the set, meaning we will play the other set. Very, very unfortunate for Jar here. They tried their best, but Phobia did dodge those early tentacles very well. And Jar does not have any good perks to help out. Jar is going to try to go for a sneaky play here. Is going to try to swing around the corner to get the down on the Shack Pallet. Unfortunately, is not going to get it. We do see the pickup happen on a Bruiser here, however. Unfortunately, are going to get down right away. Corvo is going to, maybe intentionally, opt to take the zombie hit to gain the extra speed. Maybe not intentionally, because they did not try to do it again on the next one. Is going to do his very best to make it towards the gate to get the 6 stages out. Unfortunately, yeah, 6 stages would be. But unfortunately, it does not happen. This is going to be the 3k9. But still very, very well played by Phobia. They dodged the early tentacles incredibly well, allowing them to build a lot of pressure, which in the end allowed them to finish all the gens without much of a sweat, even if the Devourer did ruin the plans a little bit towards the end there. Abuzi here trying to hope a little bit that they could maybe get the Shack hatch, which would be even more outs. But no, unfortunately not. This is going to be the 9 stages 3 fresh. But as I said, this is the win for Phobia, meaning we will play the next set. We will see each other next in the artist set after the intermission. And here we are again now with the last set for today. We have Jar for Petroleum on the Artist. We can see an incredibly strong build here. We have Deadman Switch, Grim Embrace, both some of the strongest perks right now. Together with Rapid Brutality and Knowed, which are both just perks that work out well for a competitive artist. So, it is a rather classic build. A mix of both classic solo pub build as well as competitive. Where's Neat? Jar here is going to try to see if they can find a survivor here working on one of these two gens, but they opted to not go for it. Are going to find Hikari working on this generator, however, is going to get the swarm hit on them. And Hikari is just going to opt to immediately drop the pellet, is going to just try to make as much distance as they can. Jar is going to try to get the snipe, but unfortunately not going to get it. Is going to get the M1 though, is going to get this Rapid Brutality value, is going to chase up on Hikari. Maybe Hikari is not going to expect it's going to be got Call of Guard on it. The bird is going to be placed on the pellet, is going to get played. There's just really not much you can do as a survivor in that position. You just have to play for a very strange 50-50. Try to wait for either the bird to disperse or for the artist to send it too early and mess up, or maybe swing and get stunned by the pellet. It is just a mix of a 50-50. We can see here already some value happening. The Grim Embrace is already procced as well. The Deadman Switch already doing some work. We're already back in chase against Ochi here. Also, I don't know why I didn't mention earlier, you might also notice me talking a bit more now about the gameplay because I am an artist main. A competitive artist main, so I am a bit more specialized in this. I know what's going on here. Even though I don't like the egg. I hate egg. Egg is horrible. We're going to be in chase here against Hikari again. Hikari is just going to have to take the down here. He's not going to be able to make anything. He doesn't have anything to loop after all. We are going to see this Ochi here going for a flashlight save right as I switch to Survivor because I just didn't expect it. He's going to get it. We can also see a bit more of a unique build going on here. Okay, yes, Pharmacy, I was confused for a moment. Does Pharmacy guarantee the medkit now even before you are injured? Damn. I assume so. Hope so. Does Pharmacy, I don't know. That confused me for a moment because a medkit shouldn't be allowed against artists, but yes, chests are, for the most part, well, partially allowed in the tournament. With the exception though, chests are only allowed if the item you get from it is guaranteed, and to open them to activate other chest related perks. In this case, Specialist is activated by opening a chest, and Pharmacy guarantees a medkit. This is just to allow as many perks as possible. We can see Hikari is going to end up in chase once again, however, after Komo takes it. Is going to be in a rough position, is maybe going to be hit by the birds here. We will see. No, does manage to avoid the birds. I quickly checked, yes, Pharmacy does in fact work on all chests now, even when not injured. I wasn't sure about that one, because it used to only work when injured, I'm pretty sure. That is good to know. Hikari is going to try to do their best here, but is unfortunately going to get down on this pallet. It's not like you can just talk, they can't hear you. You don't need to DM me, that is more annoying for me. I just talk. I will just keep talking. We are going to I mean, you can't talk over me, they can't hear you. We're just going to keep going. We're going to find Ochi on the generator here. We still have the Deadman Switch doing an incredibly difficult job on the survivors here. Deadman Switch is an incredibly powerful perk, and I'm honestly surprised we have not seen Deadman Switch that often in this tournament yet. Like, we have seen multiple matches where nobody used Deadman Switch, even though Deadman Switch is often recognized as one of the strongest perks in this game. But you can also partially tell why Deadman Switch doesn't work well with regression perks, and it often just ends up being that regression is just often more helpful again than blocking. We are going to try to find more survivors here. We're going to see a survivor is on that generator. We're going to also look for the other one here though. Are going to find them. We're going to find a Bruzy stealthing here to the 4 bird spam. is going to end up in chase. We have seen Abuzi today already pull multiple strong chases, so maybe we will see it happen once again. Corvo might be back on the generator by now, we can quickly check. Yes, he is. Just doing their best to try to finish that generator. Meanwhile, Abuzi here does manage to get the unhook without a trade happening, is going to try to make as much as possible, is going to drop the firecracker and is actually going to land. But unfortunately Abuzi does not have anything else they can make, they're just going to get downed here. And we do see another generator popping here. I forgot to take track of this fucking. I really need to change the system so my referee can do it to keep track of the score for me. God fucking damn it. We're going to see the artist is now going to opt to play a more campy playstyle. They have more of a 3-gen now. They can basically check on all 3-gens at the same time while still on the hook. They are going to see if they can find somebody on the unhook right about now. Corvo is going to proc the generator here, the Deadman switch here, meaning they will have to work on the shack generator. There's basically no other generator they can work on right about now. But Ja is going to make sure that that survivor on the generator is going to be harassed. But unfortunately it is right next to a lockup, meaning even if the birds delay a little bit, they do not do that much. Ja is going to realize though, like, Ja is going to walk away far enough from the generator to actually proc Grim Embrace, so just going to delay the survivor on the shack generator a little bit more. That's neat. Ja is going to do their best to pressure Corvo here. They can, as long as Ochi is trying to pressure this the check generator, they're injured, they cannot leave it really. They can pressure Corvo pretty freely here. Corvo cannot really do much, he should probably just sit on the generator and make sure to just be a nuisance. But he is maybe going to take him away. No, Ja is going to just get this. Ochi, we can see, has no intention to go for the unhook, even if Ja leaves us a little bit. He's going to try his best to just finish the generator. Corvo unfortunately cannot do much, cannot go help out because it would allow Ja to just leave the generator, to leave the hook. Which they definitely do not want. They want to get as much progress on the shack generator done before Ja gets to leave it. Ja does now finally decide to go for it, is going to get to allow Corvo the free unhook. We're going to see Corvo is going to try to pressure the shack generator even more. Abuzi did get back on the generator right away, still injured. I believe that is, yeah, it's going to be hit. Corvo is going to have to take in a one here. Ja doing a good play here. Ja is going to go immediately back to the shack generator though, just wants to make sure that it does not pop. Orochi is going to be in a difficult position here now, is going to be downed most likely, but no, Ja does actually decide against it. No, does go back for it, is not sure exactly if they want it or not, is going to go for the spread out hit, is unfortunately not going to get it, is going to have to go back to Abuzi here, who will not be able to finish the generator in time. But they are in a very rough position, they're most likely going to get downed here, which would be very bad for them because Abuzi is going to be dead. I don't think the survivors can finish the shack generator in time. Abuzi, but is still, however, showing that they're very good looper. They have done very strong chases today. Have so single-handedly given Phobia a very good chance at winning multiple games today, but unfortunately it's not going to work out much longer. He does run out of resources, is going to have to just take that down. Phobia is just going to accept their fate, is going to try their best to see if they can get the generator done in the last moment, but no. Unfortunately, Corvo does fall for it. He has to let go of the generator to allow, to ensure that the grab doesn't happen, which is going to end up with him taking, with the artist kicking the generator, preventing the generator from popping for the 4k1 here for Petroleum. Because there's no pickup perk. Yep. Really carefully keeping track of the score here. There we go. This means now that Phobia will have to get at least a 4K to win, to tie today's match. They cannot win it because they're already 2-1. If they tie this, well, if they tie this, they lose it 2-1. If they win this, they tie it 2-2. We will see the Maui have on Corvo now for the guaranteed 4K. Okay. We are gonna go back into the intermission though, and we will see ourselves in the next game, which is going to be the guaranteed last game of the day, which will be Phobia on the Artist after intermission. And here we are again for with the last game of today, unless any rule was broken, which would force us to restart, but most likely not. We have Phobia on we have Phobia on the killer here. Hikari playing for Phobia against Petroleum. The win condition being a 4k2 technically, but even a tie will still count as a win. We will see already the game starts off strong with a boon being placed, because we do in fact have a boon allowed. The boon being Dark Fury and Shadow Step, which would have been incredibly helpful, but unfortunately it's not going to do much. We are going to get the tag on Jay here already, due to the, I believe, ping difference, because I believe it's an A against the EU, right? Are going to see a bit of weapon brutality value here. I am a bit confused, I need a short moment. We can see the chase here is continuing, however. Yeah, fucked up. Shit. Oopsie. Oh well. Fucked up. No. Oh well. It makes too much of a difference. We're going to just keep playing the game here. I noticed I made a mistake against in the previous game. I sent Petroleum the killer build for Phobia and they didn't say anything. They didn't realize either. Apparently they did not question that they had perks that they didn't intend on bringing. Might have to replay the previous game, we will see. If Hikari wins this, it doesn't make a difference honestly, but if they lose this then... Whoops. Shit. We will keep playing, however, for now. We're going to keep chasing. We will see if I might have to be sorry for something once again. We will see. Kenshi is going to go for the unhook here, is going to get it. Unfortunately, Hikari cannot use their birds here because it is just too close to the hook. Is going to use a bird to get rid of the endurance, but Jar will make it to a pallet. Is going to play it decently well, pretty well. Is going to be able to make quite a bit more distance. Is going to be stuck on this pallet once again, however. Is most likely having a take down. No, they do in fact manage to dodge the bird. Are going to make it to the pallet once again. J Mally is here for the body block. Is going to take it. Kaboom, hyping up his own team, Mr. Chan. I'm just going to keep going. Keep looping, so doing their best to try to get Jar down. 2 gens have already popped, meaning they are in a bit of a rough position here. They only have 1 hook so far and do need to get quite a bit more. Are going to try to go make a swindle string. Unfortunately, by very closely, do not get it. Are going to have to keep continuing the chase. Jar is going to have to take the corner here. I am a bit considering how the fuck I handled this because I didn't expect this to happen. We will see. Yeah, this is horrible battle, so I don't think there's a point in replaying that. Well, that's Petroleum since it's my fuck up, but... Well, that's probably... But I feel like this result is something that has no need for a replay, because this is realistically the Noah did nothing on the fact that Petroleum had it wrongly, and the thrilling premise didn't change anything either. Like the thrilling premise wouldn't have made it different. Well, the weapon brutality changed a tiny bit, but I don't think it changed enough to go from most likely going to be 1k5 result to... Well, they would have had to get something as 1k5 or below. Well, no, Yeah, no, it would have to be below 1k5. It would have had to get 4 stages or worse in that game. Or well, 4 stages, 3 fresh or worse. Yeah, I did mess up horribly just to make sure the chat understands. I apparently messed up and sent Phobia's killer build to Petroleum, so they are both running the exact same killer build, even though they had different killer builds. Instead of having Rapid Brutality and NOED, the Petroleum killer should have had Thrilling Tremors. I am a bit unsure if that is enough of a difference to replay it. I think I just have to give an apology and be like, the replay is optional. I don't think it would have made enough of a difference, which I'm a bit sorry for Phobia for, but I don't think this is worth the replay. Hikari is going to do their best here to just pressure survivors, going to make sure that no unhook on this basement can happen. Is going to try to just get the ranged hits in here on Jar. If you could get a range down on Jar, it would be very helpful. Why are you saying Axolotl? Was it Axolotl? Is that Kirby? Only Mookie. Ah, I think it's Kirby. We're going to see the survivors are healing up in the gate. They are going to try to go for a little bit more. We are going to see the bird spread out happening, trying to get a multi-hit. Unfortunately, does not happen. The survivors are going to make it healthy towards the shack. We will see if Petroleum actually knows how to play the Artist unhook properly. They do in fact know. They do know how to play the Artist basement unhook properly. But, well, they did know, but Acid did not stick around. J Mally is going to get 2 tapped here. And is going to be just killed here. Unless Hikari goes for a little bit more. They do have the worry after all, so there is no chance of a save happening. We can hear Survivor is already on the heal. J Mally is up by now. Questionable mind games here happening. Kenshi is going to be down here, is going to go into the basement most likely again, unless the survivors are there to body block it. They in fact are, Hikari cannot allow to go for the basement here. They are going to go for a different hook, baiting the fact that they would go for the basement to make sure that survivors do not try to go for a different slot. I'm pretty sure Petroleum will just have to take the out here. No, they are already here for the body block. They are going to get the pallet save, are going to get the unhook thanks to it, and most likely... Yeah, Hikari misses the bird shot. They are not going to have a chance to get another down here unless they fuck up badly, which they did just now. J Mally doing a little bit of a spin. Hikari being a little bit disappointed, like, why did you do that, my guy? Acid is just going to take the lead. J Mally is still staying around to see if they can get the save. Hikari will let them have it. This is going to be the 5 stages for Phobia here. I fucked up. No, this is why usually you don't have... I'm going to clear those, the mistake I did, and I will say in chat afterwards how we continue. Most likely going to be GG.